Hello. eBasta is a project under the Digital India initiative of the Government of India and directed by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It is being implemented by the Mumbai and Chennai centers of CDAC, the Center for Development of Advanced Computing. eBasta project aims at three concerns with respect to the school education ecosystem in India. First is the concern about the unhealthy weight of the school bags that children carry to school on a daily basis. Much has been talked about this in various forums, and many school education boards are exploring various solutions. One major thread in this is the use of ebooks. When you carry ebooks on a tablet, they do not add any weight to the tablet. You can carry not just a few but hundreds of books, including your dictionary, thesaurus, picture books, maps, and whatnot. Beyond printable material, you can also include simulations and animations and other multimedia content. So, apart from addressing the weight concern, ebooks help our students to access richer, more interactive, and hence more effective content. Many school boards, including NCERT, are already converting their books to electronic form. eBasta takes this move a level higher by addressing two primary issues in this move towards ebook. First, eBasta attempts to bring all publishers, state boards, central boards, private publishers, and even other teachers who have some content to share on a single portal. You can access and browse all resources relevant to school education in a single place. You can view user ratings and comments and use all that to select the right book for you or your class if you are a teacher. I will come back to the second issue a little later. Another concern we see is timely availability of books in schools, more so if you are located remotely. Transporting printed books from depots to these schools take time, and often books reach quite late. And then there may be damaged books. A replacement may not arrive before the year ends. When books are in digital form and easily accessible online, there is no overhead of printing or shipping. As soon as a book is approved for distribution, one can get them downloaded. A related concern is the difficulty in updating any content should be required to do so. Making any change means reprinting the whole book and repeating the logistics nightmare. When books are in e-form, an updated version can be downloaded with little effort. This is the second issue relating to ebooks I mentioned earlier. Different sites follow different naming and folder naming conventions. They also split books into multiple parts with different names. Downloading these on your tab creates a confusing mess of files which mixes with other material which you may download. eBasta project addresses this by proposing the teachers to create a basta, a kind of a structured school bag. The structure is defined by the teacher, and then the teacher can add contents selected from the portal as per the structure. Students will view and process content at the basta level. One need not be concerned about where the files are located or how they are named. I will talk more about the basta notion in a little while. This thus is the backdrop for eBasta. Please note the URL given on the slide, that is where the portal is located. As the discussion so far shows, there are two major components to the eBasta system. One is the portal eBasta.in, which hosts the catalog of all resources relevant to school education. The portal captures metadata that is directly relevant to school education, making search easier. So, we collect information such as the class, the language of the resource, the target medium of instruction, the authors, edition, subject, nature of resource, and so on. The portal also allows a teacher to create the bastas, a compilation of such resources. He can give the basta a unique name which allows his students to access the basta easily. When books are downloaded as a bundle to a tablet, we need some software which understands the bundle structure and which can manage them. We have an app for that, the eBasta app. That is the second component. You can download it from the portal itself or from Google Play Store. The app recognizes any Bastas that get added to the device, configures it properly, and provides a simple user-friendly interface to navigate the various Bastas and the various resources within a Basta. The overall architecture of eBasta is as shown in this figure. The publishers log in as content providers and upload their content on the portal. This forms the content repository of eBasta. I must add a caveat here. Though we talk of uploading of content, we do not usually take the actual content, but just the catalog. A URL is sought from the publisher which indicates where the content can be picked from. This allows the actual books to be located in the provider's website, allowing them to change the content without creating any inconsistency. When a student downloads the Basta, the actual content is picked up via the URL and loaded to his tablet. Teachers on behalf of schools log into the same portal, browse the various resources available and select suitable resources for the classes that they are responsible for. These selected resources are organized into a Basta, given a name and left on the portal. Teachers can of course browse other Bastas created by others and use them as they are, or derive a new Basta from it by adding or deleting resources. Whatever is the Basta finalized, teachers instruct the students to download and use that Basta by giving the name of the Basta. Students come to the portal, browse the Bastas available and pick the Basta suggested to them by their teacher. They can search for a Basta using the name or other fields. This Basta is then downloaded onto their tablet. If the Basta contains any paid resources, then the student is taken to a payment portal where the required payment is made. Download is allowed only if the payment is successful. The app on the tablet takes care of all the bookkeeping and management once the Basta reaches the tab. In some scenarios, it is possible that a school downloads the Basta in bulk, copies them to a set of SD cards and distributes the SD card to the students. This card can be inserted into their tabs instead of individually downloading the Bastas. We often talked about the Bastas that the teacher creates. Let us understand this a little more clearly. A Basta is a hierarchically organized collection of resources. You can categorize an 8th standard student's resources into science, maths, language and reference sections, for example. Within language, you may have further compartments for English, Hindi, Marathi and so on. And within that compartment, the actual textbook and reference material may be located. Similarly, under science, you may have sections for physics, chemistry, etc. You can choose your compartments as you like. Some examples are shown on this slide as well as on the next. The job of the eBasta app is to understand the structure and process the content suitably, hiding the Basta details, file name conventions, etc. from the user. Here are more Bastas. They are kept simple so that they fit on the screen and you can browse them comfortably. Looking back at this description so far, we can clearly see the major advantages that schools will have and students will have by using the eBasta approach. For schools, it provides the teachers with a chance to choose and bundle content according to their teaching methods. The content from every publisher or even other teachers are accessible to them through a single portal. Provide teachers who contribute content or generate more relevant collections nationwide visibility. You are a teacher in a remote school, might having some interesting idea about how to illustrate a topic or illustrate a concept, can actually upload that description or the example as a resource onto the portal, and this resource now becomes visible and accessible to every other teacher in the country. Wider pool of resources with peer evaluation is now available for school resources. It also reduces the logistics problems of book availability and ensuring that the books reaches the schools in time. For students, the primary challenge has been to reduce the weight burden of books, and we have seen how that is done. They get access to richer resources as and when such resources are added to the portal. All material becomes available anytime and easily accessible. There is a logical organization of the resources rather than a scattered set of files that get added to your tablet. On the long term, the cost of the tablet is also amortized over multiple years of use across years. The current status as of March 2016 is as follows. This slide gives you a quick snapshot of the availability of books as of now. We have more of the state boards and private publishers coming on board, so this number should swell as we go along. Now, I will take you through a quick walkthrough over the portal as well as the app. eBasta.in is the URL for the portal. You can use any browser to access the portal. The opening page has this look and feel as of now. It shows the status of what e-resources and eBastas are available, the number of downloads and eContent downloads. And there is a direct link to download the app. The important menu items are here. There is a search eContent and search eBastas. These are the primary things that the publishers and the teachers would use. If a student comes to the portal in order to download a Basta, and if he knows the name of the Basta, without having to go through the details of the portal, he can just enter the Basta name here and directly get to purchasing the Basta. The search eBasta menu item from the home screen takes you through an interface like this. You can search the Bastas through the name, as I mentioned earlier, or you can do advanced search using class, city name, school name, and so on. Here a brief list of the Bastas are given in the main area, and there are also indicators like new Bastas that has been added or the Bastas which have been downloaded most number of times. In each Basta, you can see a preview button and a buy now button. The preview enables you to look at the contents of the Basta without purchasing the same. Once you are convinced that this is the Basta that you want to purchase, you can click on the buy now button, which takes you through a purchase process, which I will explain in a minute. The Bastas are available in the grid view or the table view. In the table view, they are listed one after the other, and in grid view, you get more of a graphical view, including the icons of the Bastas. The preview provides a view like this, including the name of the Basta, the class, section, school, the city, and so on, and also a view of the contents of the e-resources that are in the Basta. If you click the Buy Basta option, you would actually reach a screen like this, which lists out all the resources which are contained in the Basta. The idea is that in case you have already purchased a particular resource as part of a Basta or because it was available to you through other options, you need not buy those e-resources, even whether they are free or paid resources. So, if you are not interested in buying any of these, you can click on this button here and that tick mark will disappear. So, only the remaining items will be taken for purchase. The total cost of the Basta is also listed here. In this case, all these resources are free resources, so the cost is 0. You click on proceed to checkout for the payment and other formalities. So this is the confirmation screen, and again we will list out what are the resources, how many copies, and the total price, and it picks up your email address in this screen and before going to the payment portal. I am skipping the payment portal in this demo because that depends on your particular payment channel that you use and the bank that the bank or the payment option that you plan to use. Once the payment is completed, provided there is the resources that you buy include paid resources, you will reach the screen which says your order is almost complete. Please review the details and click submit order. So once the submit is done, you will actually get a link to download the Basta. So your order is completed, your order number is so and so, and here you can see a button to download your Basta. A link to download the app is also provided on the same screen. As a teacher, if you click the Create eBasta option after logging in, you will get an interface like this. Please note that the Create eBasta option is not available to everyone. You have to be a teacher and must have an account in order to access this option. The Manage eBastas is also an option available only to the teacher. When you create a Basta, the unique Basta name is required, class name, section, and other basic information is sought from you for the Basta. You can upload a logo for the Basta. Typically, this is the logo of your school, or you can upload any picture as the logo for your Basta. The main part of the Basta creation is this part here, which shows you the Basta structure. It starts with just a single icon with that name eBasta, and you can right click on it and it will give you options to create a folder or add a resource or even include another Basta at that point. So once you add a resource, you can browse the resources available on the portal and add whatever resource that you think is appropriate. For creating a folder, we can give a name and a folder is created. You can open that folder and add resources within that folder as well. By default, when a Basta is created, it is set in the unpublished mode, which means you may continue to edit this Basta structure and is not visible to the teachers or other users on the portal. Once you are comfortable and you are happy with the Basta structure and the resources therein, you can set the status as published, after which you cannot modify the Basta. If you want to make a modification, you should create another Basta, copying these Basta content and work on that. These Bastas are now visible to other users. They can purchase them and they can adapt it for their requirements. If you are a publisher, you have options like add eContent. So as I mentioned earlier, the eContent edition here requires a lot of fields that are relevant for school education. And these fields are primarily used for searching for eContent for a teacher to add into their own Bastas. The title, the class, subject, language, medium, authors, and so on are some of the main fields that it requires. You also need to enter the edition of the book or the resource, the year of publication, ISBN, type, and so on. When you get to a search eContent option, which is available from the main screen, you get a view like this, and you can see a number of fields which are given on the left side, which is quite similar to what you just now saw in the create eContent, the class, subject, language. What is also shown is the number of books available for each of the options that you select. So for first standard, we have 104 books, and for second standard we have 105. Similarly, in accountancy we have only one book. In biology we have 3 books. There are 30 Gujarati books and 219 English books. There are more fields which you can scroll down on the screen. And a view of visual view of the content is also given here. These are modified depending on what fields has been selected out of the filter. So if you clicked on class 1, only class 1 books will be displayed. The star ratings are shown here. So when the users can rate a content by a 5-star scheme, indicating how much they like the book or how useful it was. And these ratings are available to other users in deciding whether to include a resource or not. View contents, the publisher view is similar to the search content, except that there are no search options because these are the books that the publisher has uploaded. They can edit the various properties of the books and also look at the feedback that is generated by the users. Now, I will take you to the app, the eBasta app. As I said, you can download it free from the portal or from the Google Play Store. When you open the eBasta app on your tablet, this is the splash screen. So, it shows you the version number. So, this is something that you might want to keep in check whether you have the latest version. And notice this, but here as soon as the eBasta app starts up, it actually searches your external memory and internal memory looking for new Bastas that has been downloaded. This takes away the concern for you in figuring out how to configure the Bastas and downloading it and making sure that it is in the right place and so on. So, it will locate eBastas based on its structure and process it appropriately. The next screen, once past the splash screen, is something like this. So, you have the available eBastas listed there, and along with the logo and the name of the Basta. On your right, there is a link available for download more eBastas. If your tablet is connected to the internet and you want to browse the portal and pick up more Bastas, you can do that through this link. Look, see this particular Basta which has a prepare it button on it instead of the usual logo. That means this Basta has just been downloaded and the full content has not been picked up from the respective sources. These contents are completely ready for use and can be used without access to internet. This content requires internet access till the preparation is done. So, you can click on it and it will connect to the respective content sources and pick up all the content and ensure that the Basta is complete. After that, it can be used just like the other Bastas. This is the preview of a particular Basta. It tells you what are the items in the Basta and the overall size of the Basta. Once you open a particular Basta, it will show you what are the main folders. In this particular case, there are no folders. These are directly the books itself that is listed. And this icon is the icon for preview of that particular Basta, which lists out all the contents. The content are accessible once you click on a book icon, and depending on the format, the appropriate reader is invoked. And you can see that the content display supports Indian languages also, and these are some random pages from some of the books shown in the previous Basta. That finishes this brief presentation on eBasta. If you would like to know more information about eBasta or want to adopt it for your schools, please write to this email addresses that is given here or visit the portal ebasta.in. Thank you very much.